Everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I'm here to share my June book Bujo or reading journal setup. So for this month, before we dig into the June stuff, I do want to just briefly touch on how the year's going as a whole. So looking at the beginning, nothing's really changed up here. I'm in May right now. For reference, today is May 28th, although by the time you see this, it'll already be June. But still in May here as well. Doing okay on my reading. I have actually read today as well, but I haven't updated it. Doing okay on my goals. I've had a couple weeks where I didn't get quite all my Instagram posts, but it is what it is. Moving on to Romanceopoly, I didn't really make any progress this month. I have already finished the core curriculum, major, minor, and electives. And then over here, this was already done. This was already done. This doesn't start till July, this one in October. I do have Zoe Brennan First Crush on my Libby right now. I'm not sure I'm gonna get to it in May. I might read it early in June. So it'll just be a little delayed, but it is what it is. I think that's fine. And then over here, I have 1, 2, 3 prompts left on these 3 clubs. Hopefully I will get to those at some point. We'll have to kind of see how that goes. These are ones that are the hardest for me to fulfill, I think, of this set. And then in terms of TBR-a-thon, map of stories, I think I made a little bit of progress this month. This page looks pretty well done, so doing okay there. Over here, this is where I have some more gaps. My expectation is that contemporary, I'm eventually just going to use some genre blends with other areas. So maybe contemporary romance or contemporary mystery will be what I fill in here. Horror is definitely the hardest one for me to fulfill, but I might try to pull in some stories in October just to get in the spooky vibes. And then literary fiction is also a tricky one for me. I don't read a lot of that, but that might be another opportunity for some genre blends. I just haven't done a lot of those at this point, so these 2 will probably be filled in with genre blends at some point. But I'm already ahead from where I need to be in order to complete this by the end of the year if I'm trying to keep pace. So overall, not too worried about it. Skipping ahead a little bit, I'm going to look at our April stats. So in April, I read 24 books, about 7,400 pages. I had 1 book that got onto this page, but that's fine. I just put a little line. My favorite book was The Dead Romantics, which was a reread. It just really hits me for some reason. I also liked Oddball, Nobody's Baby, Hands of Time, and The Art of More. So all pretty good books there. Overall, my average rating was a 3.58, which is not too bad for me in general. And I did have 2 5-star reads. Admittedly, 1 was a reread and 1 was a comic series, so a little easier to hit the 5-star mark on those, but still nice to see for sure. Own Voices is definitely an area I struggled in a little bit during the month, which might have impacted my reading a bit as well. And then I also did some year-to-date statistics for the first 4 months of the year. During that time, I read 73 books, 24,000 pages, mixture of some stats here. A lot of these came out of Storygraph stats. But definitely, I think it's fun to kind of see how it's going. In this time, I have had 4 5-stars. And I feel like Jane Austen's Bookshelf is the only one that I would count as like a fully legit 5-star, for the year, since this is a comic series, this is a comic series, and this one's a reread. But it's fine. Overall, I have had some really good reading still. Definitely a good number of other readings, so overall pretty well for the year. My top genres, unsurprisingly, are romance and mystery. Definitely read a lot of those. Moving into May, this is kind of what my cover page looks like. I still think it's pretty cute. I like how it turned out. And then here is what's happening with Escape the Readathon. As of when I'm filming this, I can't share it with you, but by the time you see this video, I can share it. So here's what's been going on with Team Engineers. And then here are my reads during the month and what they have been counting for throughout the whole time. Unsurprisingly, for a competitive readathon, I've been reading way more than I usually read. So it's definitely been very busy, a mixture of ratings for sure, but a very busy month, absolutely. So in terms of what needs to happen still, I have 3.5 days essentially left in the month. So these 2 pages should definitely be enough to cover whatever else I read this month. Even at my new higher speed that I'm doing under the competitive readathon, I can't imagine I'm reading probably more than max 4 more books, probably more like 2, maybe 3. So I'm just gonna leave that here. These 2 are gonna be for my my May stats. So that means I'm starting June here. So for this month, I pulled out this set of washi tapes that I got from JoAnn several years ago. Those of you in the US know that JoAnn did go bankrupt and is closed now. Similar patterns are sometimes available from Michaels since they bought a lot of the JoAnn stuff. But overall, I like it. It's fun and colorful and bright, which seems perfect for June. And to go with it, I did pull in this kind of turquoise zebra mild liner, this skinny lime green Uniball Signo, and then this magenta I by M fine liner. And then over here, I'm also going to pull out these 2 floral sets so that I can make sure to pull at least something from there since I've been using them for every month thus far. Hopefully I can find at least one thing to add to these setups as well. My plan for this month is to set up the cover page and the priority reads, and then I'm going to set up some shells for Tarot Readathon and the Amazing Readathon. I'm participating in both of those, but neither one is really plan ahead kind of readathon. So I'm just gonna have a few shells for that. But yeah, I think that covers everything I need to tell you right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then I will be back to show you how it's looking. All right, here's where we are at so far. I did kind of this like interwoven-ish design on the sides, and I think it turned out really cute. I did do little cutouts so I can still see the page numbers. I did not fill in my priority reads yet because I just don't know how many of my arcs that are coming out in June I'm going to get to still in May. So I just didn't want to write any of those down, but I will have at least a few, I'm sure. And then for Tarot Readathon, I did a single page spread. My expectation is that I'm just going to write which card / prompt I'm fulfilling as I write my individual books, because I anticipate that every book will go with a tarot card. And then I'm going to put my totals here. I do need to keep track of my hero's journey stuff, so I did fill that in. And then there's a little space here at the bottom, which I expect I'm going to put in the place that our team got for each of these 3 trophies, and perhaps the points that we earned on each as a total. We'll see how that goes, but I am doing T1s for that, and I'm very excited about that. On the other side, this is for the Amazing Readathon. I just filled in these few things up here at the top that I already know about. Put in how I score points, including my team bonuses, my team, the 5 power-up cards that we start out with, I put up here at the top. I'm probably going to use a line from the mild liner to kind of divide between locations. But since we don't have any information about even the first location yet, I'm just filling nothing in. I do anticipate I'm going to need additional pages for this because I am probably going to track every book and how it's counting for here, but I don't know any of that right now. So I'm just going to leave it with this page, and then I'll just add another page later that'll say like the Amazing Readathon continued or something like that. And then we're on to blank pages where I'm going to put the books that I read during the month and then the additional pages I need for the Amazing Readathon. But that's all I have for this pre-setup that I'm excited to get started using. By the time you see this video, I will have already started using it since it is up a little later than usual. But hopefully you still really enjoy it. As always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know how your reading is planned for June. Are you participating in any teams? Are you Team Wands for Tarot Readathon and Team LNZ for Amazing Readathon? Because you should be. But whatever team you're joining, let me know about that as well. And if you're not feeling chatty, leave me a sunshine emoji down below just to say hi. I would love to hear from you, and it would be great to have a little sunshine in the comments. And then follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Creative Life of Lays. You'll see in progress and finished spreads in my planners, bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.